Good morning, Facebook friends and family. How are you guys doing today? I hope that everyone is doing wonderful and swell per usual on this good Monday morning. It is September the 29th, 2025, and it is currently 9:44 a.m. here in Detroit, Michigan. I'm kind of tired a little bit. Like, my eyes are really burning. That's how tired I am. But I didn't go to sleep till about 5 something this morning or whatever. And before I went to sleep, it was a few different things on my mind. For one, I kept thinking about my old clients or resident. Her name was Odessa. And she was my resident, one of my residents when I worked for Advisor Care. She lived out in the apartments, assisted living out in Southfield. And it's something about when I worked for Advisor Care. I worked for Advisor Care from 2019 to 2020. Then I left Advisor Care when the pandemic started because everybody was getting sick with COVID. And I had just had Mally. He was only like 6 months. And I didn't want my baby to catch COVID. So I quit working at the assisted living and I started working at Amazon. And so that was 2020 because I started working at Amazon in 2020. I didn't know nothing about everybody getting pandemic unemployment or nothing like that. I strictly left Advisor Care and went straight to working at Amazon. Like, it wasn't even no gap in between. When I quit Advisor Care, I instantly got hired at Amazon. But anyway, I keep thinking of my clients and residents that I had at Advisor Care. I had mentioned Mama Rosa in one of my videos the other day, and I was talking about how her pills had came up missing. Then last night, before I could fall asleep, I kept thinking about Odessa. Now, Odessa, she was my client and she was blind. She could not see. So, but she was very much so independent. Like, she walked around with her little walker by herself and everything like that. She just had on like a neck piece, like a life alert, because sometimes she would fall. She was a fall risk. And when she would fall, she would push the button. And that was pretty much the only time she really needed us to assist her. Granted, she was blind. She moved around her apartment with ease. And one day, I just wanted to see something because she had like outside therapists and stuff that would come into her apartment and things like that. And even one day, I think they said that something of hers came up missing, or she said that it was missing. But everybody tried to dismiss it and say, well, oh, you know, that's just Odessa. Odessa is blind. She doesn't know if anything is missing. So one day I turned my walkie-talkie off. I put my keys or my badges and stuff up so there wouldn't nothing be jiggling on me or anything like that. And I brought Odessa her food and I sat it on the counter in her kitchen. But I backed up and I stayed in her apartment because I wanted to see her and how she maneuvered around, because she was not as crazy as people was trying to make it seem like she was. So she was in the bathroom and she got up and she pulled her stuff up. She got her walker and she started walking around. I was quiet as a fucking church mouse. But Odessa, she came into the front. She's like, who's here? Who's here? And I wouldn't say anything. Not being weird, not trying to hide from her, but I just wanted to observe her. So I was trying my best not to even breathe too loud. And I was watching her. She's like, who's here? Who's here? I know somebody's in here. Or whatever. And I watched how she felt around. So she found her food and she ate it and things like that. She moved around. And Odessa had to go to dialysis as well. She got herself up and ready and everything. But I kept wondering, maybe Odessa and Mama Rosa have passed away, and that's why I keep thinking about them. But I'm not sure, though, because I don't work for Advisor Care anymore. I don't talk to anybody who works there. However, I'm hearing you have people fooled because people thought that you was, you know how they say it be the blind leading the blind, basically saying like it's two or more dumb people trying to all figure something out, and it's the blind leading the blind. But what I noticed about Odessa, who was blind, is that she could do everything by herself. And you know they say once you lose one of your senses, the others get heightened. So even though I was so quiet in her room, damn near holding my breath, she still felt my energy. And she still knew that I was in there. And granted, she couldn't see me. She couldn't feel me. She didn't know where in her apartment I was. However, she knew that I was there. And she was standing like, I'm not crazy. I know somebody's in here. I know somebody's in here. And it kind of tickled me a little bit because I was sitting there like, yeah, you're not crazy. You're moving around perfectly fine. And granted, you can't see, you can hear. And your senses, you can feel. I'm hearing the blind leading the blind is not always a bad thing. Because, you know, sometimes they say, listen with your, look with your ears and not with your eyes. Hey, baby. They say, look with your ears and not with your eyes. Like, sometimes our eyes will fool us. But you heard what you heard. And it's reminding me of the times where I said I died 3 times and I passed out and it wasn't no sleep apnea or nothing like that. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't see nothing, but I can hear everything that was happening around me. And every time that happened to me, I found out how fucked up the people who was around me was because I was able to hear the shit that they were saying about me, even though I was blacked out. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk or nothing, but I can hear. And it's also making me think of Legally Blonde, like the hair color, Legally Blonde. But you know how they doubted Reese Witherspoon, which reminds me, I got to go back and watch Sweet Home Alabama because I never got to it yesterday. But I love Reese Witherspoon, by the way. And somebody's last name is Witherspoon. I'm hearing they're in trouble. But anyway, Legally Blind. See, I keep saying blind. Somebody is losing their eyesight. And that's why I'm thinking of Odessa. Somebody is sick. And they're losing their eyesight and they're losing their gifts. Like somebody was a warlock or a witch or something and they're on their deathbed right now. And they're losing their sight. However, I'm hearing like they mumbling things like randomly out the side of their neck. And that happens when people are about to die. I watch my mama take her last breath. I watch my grandma take her last breath in the hospitals. People mumble a lot right before they get ready to die. They be in the spiritual realm. They talk to the spirits. The day before my mama passed away, I tell y'all how she was talking to my aunties and uncles, my grandma, brothers, and sisters who had already passed. My mama was bedridden before she passed away. But the night before she died, she told my grandma, open the window. It's time for me to cross over. It's time for me to go. And she tried to get out the bed and walk to the window. She hadn't walked in weeks. So it's something about that. Somebody is deteriorating. I'm hearing they're losing gifts day by day. Like they're losing eyesight, losing mobility, shriveling up, turning into a vegetable. And somebody's last name is Witherspoon. And it's because they tried to blindside somebody. They tried to do something, cover it up, get away with it, and pretend. I'm hearing D-Lo. I could have watched you do it. I still don't know who did it. Somebody did something. They tried to act like they was blind. Ray Charles to the bullshit. But I'm not. It's like I can see. And granted, even though I couldn't see what people was doing to me behind the scenes or backstabbing me or being fake in my face, I can hear. I can feel. I have feelings, emotions, senses. And being that I couldn't see it, you know how they say walking with the rose-colored glasses or blinded by love or trusting people too much? Even though I couldn't see my family, my friends, and everybody backstabbing me and shit, I can hear. And it's like I'm hearing people was banking on you being dumb. Remember I said they was basically saying like, Odessa don't know what she talk about. She blind. Ain't nobody steal nothing out her room. No, she was very much so alert. And one thing you have to, I had a few blind patients actually. And one thing you have to know about blind people again is that their senses are heightened. So they can't see, but they can smell extra strong like an animal. They can hear real good from far, far, far away. So I'm hearing like, granted, somebody tried to strip you of your gifts of visions, your gifts of sight and everything like that. Your senses has now. Remember I said my sinuses messing up and my throat was itching and my ears was itching real, real bad. Not the kind of itch that I get when I get a download. And I said I'm about to have an ascension. And I said I was hearing D-Lo again. Bitch, I'm up in rank, baby. It's ascensions. It's your senses. Like they take one thing away from you and everything else gets even more powerful. So somebody tried to strip me of something that belonged to me. And then they act as if they didn't see it or know nothing about it. I could have watched you do it. I still don't know who did it. They act like they didn't know shit about it. Now this person is getting fucked up. Or the person that they worked with is getting fucked up. I'm hearing somebody worked with a crooked lawyer. A crooked lawyer. And again, somebody's name is Witherspoon. Because I'm channeling Sweet Home, Alabama. Somebody came from Alabama. I'm really hearing black. Somebody came from Alabama. Or their family is in Alabama. Sweet Home, Alabama. So their family was in Alabama. Or they come from Alabama. Or they're on the run. And they have moved to Alabama. It's something like that. And Crooked Lawyer, Legally Blonde, another movie with Reese Witherspoon. They thought she was too dumb to solve a case, to be a lawyer. And she solved her very first case. And it wasn't the average way that normal lawyers do it. She solved it by being so girly that her first client or her first case was a girl who was a girly girl. And they just had so much in common that she was able to solve the case for her. So, it's a case going on. Hold on. Yes, baby. No, so hold on. When I'm done, I'm going to come out. So, it's something about a case going on. And somebody getting sick as fuck. Whoever is working on this case or whoever is a part of this case, whether it's a suspect, a judge, lawyer, defendant, prosecutor, somebody is getting really, 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 really sick, and it's starting with their eyes. I'm also hearing herpes, and sometimes when you have herpes and things like that, it's really, you need to get treated, especially if you're having a child, because your mucus from giving birth to a child, it can get into the child's eyes and things like that. For some reason, I'm hearing somebody may be pregnant, maybe, or they had a baby and their baby have herpes. I don't know what that got to do with anything, but that's what I'm getting right now. And speaking of, I just had to tell my baby that he couldn't go somewhere recently because of herpes. Not trying to be funny, and he gonna try to say like, no, so-and-so, she don't have that, she just have cold sores. No. Cold sores, for one, is a form of herpes. And a little kid shouldn't be getting cold sores every other month, every other week, or no shit like that. And you usually get cold sores or fever blisters when you have a really high fever or a cold or something. Other than that, you have herpes outbreaks. I don't give a fuck with nobody saying you're not going to fuck over there. Because you done came back from over there too many times and they tried to say that you must have had that at home. You didn't leave home with no bump, so you don't come back home with no bumps. And they living out there in the suburbs in these nice ass houses where they swear they living so much better than us, so much cleaner than us and all that. But every time you go over to the Prince Palace, you come back with herpes looking outbreak. It's a false judge, a lawyer, it's a doctor. This case goes so deep that I'm channeling right now, and that's why people are being stripped of their gifts. Because the doctor is involved and everybody is involved. Somebody got blue eyes, because I'm seeing their eyes right now. Like Creole people, you ever seen Creole people? They be black, but they got blue eyes sometimes, or gray. Somebody is like that. Somebody maybe is mixed with Creole or something like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody goes to New Orleans or whatever, and they dibble and dabble in different spell words. And I'm here in Africa as well. But this person, or they work with people who do this. Somebody has contacted a witch doctor, and the spell work that they paid for is backfiring onto them, and it's making them go blind. But it's because they tried to do something, get away with it, and act like they didn't know what happened. That was Ray Charles to the bullshit. So since you wanted to be Ray Charles to the bullshit, I am taking your sight away from you for real, so you can really resonate with Ray Charles. Is what I'm getting from the message or whatever. But I'm hearing, as well as Sweet Home Alabama, you know, this woman, she moved on with her life. She left her fiance, I think he was, or her husband. I'm not sure because I didn't watch it. I haven't seen it in a long time. But then she moved to New York or something. Then she ended up having to move back or come back to Alabama for some reason. And she ended up basically noticing that she missed home. She missed the man who she was supposed to marry and things like that. Somebody is realizing that they dogged somebody out for the wrong reasons, a misunderstanding. And it's because of this person who was being deceiving, putting illusions over everybody's eyes. That's why I'm hearing blind. Odessa was blind. This bitch, whoever last name is Witherspoon or something like that. Or maybe, and somebody's name could be Maurice, because I'm channeling Reese Witherspoon very heavy right now. I love her. But somebody went around lying. I'm hearing you lie, cheated, took all I had. She was a friend of mine. And that's so funny because one of my old best friends' last name was Witherspoon. So I'm hearing it like, yeah, somebody was being blind. And now they're about to get stripped. And if it's not them, then it's somebody close to them. And somebody was doing work on people's children, like real spell work on people's children. Somebody's child is becoming sick. Somebody is dealing with something like stomach ulcers or real bad indigestion, or however you say the word. Somebody is dealing with something between like their esophagus, stomach, and intestines or something like that. But I'm hearing it's because of what you did to somebody and somebody's child or something. And maybe somebody has like an upper respiratory infection or something. Somebody, or COPD. Something is going on with somebody's lungs and digestive system. I'm hearing we're going to strip them one by one. If it's from the kidneys to the pancreas, I'm hearing organ. Like somebody, I'm hearing organ harvesting, but they don't want to take these people's organs for like transplants or eating them or no shit like that the Illuminatis and the elites be into. They don't want to do that. This is God's work. He's shutting down their system. Like, it's a virus. Like, these are hackers and scammers who hacked into people's bank accounts. These are hackers that broke into people's bank accounts, stole people's identity, stole their money, forged their signatures, hired fake lawyers, deemed somebody crazy, and all this type of stuff. And God said that's like a virus to a computer. Once you get infected, you fuck up the whole system. Somebody's system is getting fucked up. They're shutting down each and every organ day by day. I'm hearing starting with the eyes. I'm hearing starting with the eyes and ending with the ass. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm hearing from the rooter to the tutor. Like any organ that's important, I'm about to shut that bitch down. Eyes, nose, taste buds. We starting with the senses. Then I'm hearing heart palpitations, kidney failure, liver failure, pancreas, appendix. I'm hearing we about to start ripping them apart. And that's funny because I was listening to walk heavy yesterday. And she said these motherfuckers basically going around playing, she didn't say motherfuckers, I did. Playing Candyland and Operation while you playing chess. But you know, in the game Operation, it's like a surgical game and you gotta try to get the little organ pieces out of the body and shit without touching the sides or whatnot. I'm seeing that. Like God is really taking somebody apart, organ by organ, vessel by vessel, senses by senses, deteriorating this person, literally turning them into a vegetable, like Operation. Because I'm hearing we about to shut this whole operation down. Y'all have been doing this shit for way too motherfucking long. So, and I'm hearing, you shouldn't have been playing Candyland in Operation with a bitch who know how to play chess. And that's so funny, because I always say I don't know how to play chess, but I know how to play the game of life because I had to learn it. You got to learn how to live life with the cards you was dealt. So you got to learn how to play the game of life. And they say chess is the game of life. Somebody was walking around as if they were royalty, and now I'm about to checkmate, or however you do it. Chess. I'm taking over the kingdom because I was the original heir anyway. The original queen. I'm hearing the original privileged lady in the first place. You stole what belonged to me, so you started a game. I'm hearing a game of Jumanji. But now I'm about to take back everything. From the pawns down to on up. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing you have to first cut the head off the snake, and then everything else will deteriorate. That's why I keep hearing from the rooter to the tutor. They took this person's eyes away. Whoever this person is, they do something with their eyes. Whether they call themselves a seer. I'm seeing people who play with crystal balls and shit. They go to get readings from people who have crystal balls. They like to spy into people's future and spy into people's lives. And they probably watch people on hidden cameras, aka crystal balls and shit. And now God is stripping you of your vision. Mally, stop! He in there playing with the dogs. Stop. Boy, you know you be playing with them. Leave them alone. But, yeah. That's it. That's it. You wanted to be spying on somebody, lying on somebody, playing Ray Charles to the bullshit, so the first thing to go is your vision. So anyway, that's the message that I was getting. My old clients. Odessa was blind. Mama Rosa's pills got stolen. You see, somebody stole something and they started acting like they didn't know what was going on. This person is reaping karma. Real bad. I'm coming out. Real bad. I'm hearing Ray Charles to the bullshit. Ray Charles to the bullshit. And you see, Ray Charles wasn't born blind. He was outside playing in the water and he wasn't listening to his mama and shit, and he fell in the thing and he became blind. Somebody is having a fall from grace. They was on a pedestal that they should have never been on. Somebody got the last name Witherspoon. I'm hearing that's the message. Y'all have a great day.